In 551 BC, there was a legendary music critic named Confucius, and on one particularly wise day, he said, "In order to find peak, you must first wade through a sea of mid." So that's exactly what I did. I listened to 50 albums in the last 7 days, and here are my favorites. We'll start with the 2025 version of You and I Can't Ever Change by Celer. 10 hours of meditative tape music and drones sounds exhausting and pretty daunting if you ask me. Yet, as you listen, it entrances you for its entire runtime, and it's one of those albums that fit every occasion with its mellow and nocturnal undertones. You find yourself so engrossed in the music that the lengthy almost nothingness of the album greets and leaves in what feels like 1 or 2 hours. In a way, this is an album that one absorbs immediately, yet it allows for the discovery of more as you cherish the flourishing essence with each passing moment. Whether you're studying, sleeping, or spending a day mesmerized by the majesty of Celer's minimalistic style, I'd recommend this album to anyone. Now we go into an album that couldn't be more different to the last one if it tried. It's called Piper Oz the Hound by Lown. This is exactly what country music should sound like to me. It's just a heartbroken man with his guitar, and through his longing for a lover, he's discovered LSD and other types of psychedelics. Hidden beneath the druggy soundscapes is a one-of-a-kind lyrical introspection that is drenched in sentimentality. In his yearning, there's a slight amount of optimism scattered throughout the writing. I feel as though enjoyment for Piper Oz the Hound breaks through the barrier of genres and different music tastes. As I sat there listening to this album, my mom said this is great music, and unless loving one Keith Urban song from 10 years ago makes you a country expert, she knows nothing about the genre. It's devastating that Art could only release one album before his untimely passing a year later. And I need courage just the same as you need me. I'm not even gonna bother trying to pronounce this album's name, but Fishmans' 1997 record was recommended to me by my Rachel music friend Seed of Wonder. I'll leave a link to his profile down below. Although I struggle to listen to music in languages I don't understand, when vocals take such an obscure approach that benefits the overall tone, it adds a certain realness. If I had to describe the sounds of this album, it would be a wonderful balance of Sigur Rós-esque singing, the atmospheric tweeness of Alvvays, and then maybe portishead delivery and arrangements. I dare you to try say Sigur Rós-esque singing 10 times in a row. The highlights of this album is definitely the drumming, for its magnificent fine-tuned details that switch focus from cleanliness to hollow reverberations. I'd love to know what they put in the water in Japan to allow for such unknown yet intensely underrated bands to explode into the Rachel music sphere almost annually, and I think Fishmans were the first example of this, and they definitely spearheaded a surprisingly large group of these. Another recommendation I got was from BM30, whose YouTube and Rachel music will be in the description. This one is for the new Wet Leg album, Moisturizer, and when I saw the 5-star rating that they gave this album, I had some mixed feelings. On the one hand, Wet Leg's debut album opens with one of my favorite songs ever, in Being in Love, but on the other, I thought that album was just okay in its entirety. From the opening seconds of Moisturizer, it feels like we've watched Wet Leg metamorphose into a more musically mature group. The sassy and girly attitude is present throughout, but the gritty instrumentation and I don't care style is one that the likes of Kim Deal and early Le Tigre would be proud of. The energy is ever present, and the conversational vocals maintain and balance the deadpan vibe of their first album with these playful anthems. Another thing that adds to the character of Moisturizer is the perfectly imperfect singing. It shows both authenticity and personality without feeling jarring and helps me connect to lyrics better. And if you find a more fun run of songs from tracks 1 to 5 from this year, I'll give you a medal. Honestly, I don't think you can. Do you ever have those times where you listen to an album and when it finishes you realize you were hypnotized by its sounds from the onset until its dying moments? A record which radiates supernatural elegance in every aspect, allowing you to marvel in both its production and lyricism. That's exactly how I felt with Beginner's Mind by Sufjan Stevens and Angelo De Augustine, and I will not be showing the album cover. Everything about this album feels like a walk on an early spring morning. As the lush arrangements and bittersweet vocals soar, and in my case, you experience really bad allergies from the flowering surroundings. And those allergies are the exact reason why this video took so long to come out. But hey, at least I had an album that encapsulated my feelings perfectly. Each track on this album embeds a feeling of comfort as well as a deep sense of longing for more like it. The effortless melodies on songs like Back to Oz are immediately ingrained into your brain, and I honestly had a hard time moving on from that song. I just wanted to play it over and over. I think a lot of Sufjan's music relies on his charm as well as the wondrous wisdom that comes through his words, but when the chamber influences and aesthetics are highlighted is when he shines brightest. I've often mentioned how uncommon time signatures can make songs way more memorable, and A Beginner's Mind boasts an eclectic mix of strange musical maneuvers as well as magically minimal instrumentation. Our final pair of albums will surely instill a feeling of nostalgia if you even had a semi-decent childhood or aren't 90 years old. Both Minecraft Volume Alpha and Beta are spectacular listens even outside of their intended setting. I hadn't listened to this in years because of specific memories tied to it, but as I put it on, I both regretted and felt thankful for my decision. These two albums kickstarted my recent binge of ambient music, and looking for music similar to C418 is nearly impossible and never ending. They're soundtracks that feel perfectly tailored towards someone like me. I do prefer Beta's more in-your-face avant-garde take compared to the more precise and refined meditative experience which is Alpha. I listened to these two albums non-stop this week, whether it was while I was sleeping, reading, or writing the script. As always, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know what videos you'd like to see in the future. God bless you and have a great day. Took the walk to Poland.